Hello everyone, my name is Curtis White from Backtesting, Beyond Backtesting. I am a prompt specialist. You can call me a prompt engineer. I'm a highly experienced senior software engineer. I'm also a trading and markets enthusiast. And today I have something very exciting to share with you, which is a new development I've created, original development called GPT Anywhere. GPT Anywhere. So actually, let me just go ahead and demonstrate this instead of trying to explain it. So here I have Notepad. Let's see if I can give Notepad some intelligence. Now I developed this in AutoHotKey, and AutoHotKey. I'm not an AutoHotKey developer, and it has some, we could say, some unique usages compared to some other languages I primarily develop in, and developed it very rapidly. I have seen some bizarre responses from this, so I know there's some bugs, some oddities to work out, but it has mostly worked in my testing. So let's see if we can get a good run here. So I've set up a prompt here inside Notepad, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my numlock enter, okay, and we'll see if this works. And this time it did. So Notepad, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So we've given Notepad a little bit of intelligence here, and what we're doing here is we're just sending this obviously to the GPT engine through the API, and I'm interfacing with AutoHotKey to do that. Now, I press the numlock enter. I can also press Control enter. So I'm going to press Control enter now. Okay. And that will have the same effect. Okay, so in either case, we send that to we send that to the API. I'm going to be showing you that. I'm going to be sharing the code as well. Notice that when this would be a great example. Actually, I didn't anticipate this, but notice when I did the Control Enter there, it kind of lost its mind or its brain, and now it's returning as robot. And the reason why is because when I press Control Enter or the numlock enter, let me correct myself there. So when it sends only the current line, okay, but we have two modes of operation. So what I can do as well is I can select actually the entire text, and I can press Control Enter, okay, or the numlock enter. It's the same thing. And notice we send a selection. So we either send a selection or the current line. If there's a selection, we send the selection. If there's not, we send the current line. So that's pretty cool here, right? And we could give this some. I wonder if we can do. I don't want to experiment too much because I don't want to break anything. But you can imagine how this could be useful within Notepad, right? Different things you can do. And but it's GPT Anywhere, right? So I'm going to demonstrate some other interface, some other applications where I'll be using this. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm in actually Visual Studio Code, and so I've created a C# file. I've not set all this up to actually code in it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to press again. I'm going to deselect that so we don't have anything selected. I'm going to press the numpad enter. Okay, oh, did that select? And we're going to see I just generated a function. I'm in Visual Studio Code through the GPT engine, from the GPT engine. Okay, pretty nice, huh? Right, and if if I wanted to, I could do something like this, right? Return. Well, I'm experimenting here, which is liable to break something, and I'm going to, well, let's just try this. Let's say fix the code. Let's try this. Fix the code, refactor. I have not tried this. Gotta. Okay. I mean, that looks largely correct. I'm not testing this, but now I'm going to use the selection mode. And I'm going to do the numpad enter and see if it'll actually fix this code. I don't know. We've got a little bit of a bizarre here with the code, but does it return the alphabet? Yes, it does. You got the console write line, and that returns it. Okay, pretty nice, right? Now I'm actually in I guess it's pronounced Replit, REPLIT. This is a web. I'm using my Vivaldi, which is a Chrome-based web browser. and I've in a Python here. This is kind of like an online thing. Of course, I deleted that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my, I'll do my control enter here, and it's going to do this, and I'm going to, and it's run that already. Interesting. I guess control enter runs this on this in this interface. So let's see if let's see here. So I do resubmit that. Let's delete this. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I can delete this here, and let's do my numpad enter, see if that automatically runs it. Probably will, because I think I submit the control enter. So in this case, the control enter is linked to run as well, which this is how this works in this case. There's obviously some opportunity to change this, because I'm going to be providing the code if you have a certain application that needs a special use case. So what I'm referring to here is that the control enter in this program runs the code, which may or may not be desirable. Probably it would not be desirable in a lot of cases, and I'm resubmitting that control enter and not just intercepting it. So I could create a separate interface for the numpad enter for these types of scenarios. Let me show you another scenario. So now I'm in Google Colab, Colab Pro. I don't actually use it very much, but so I'm not very familiar with it. But let's just show. Here's a text block. I'm going to say explain gravity to a 5-year-old. Okay, and I'm going to do my my numlock enter. Okay, and should get the response back here, hopefully. It's a little bit slow. Maybe it didn't work. Let's try it again. Now this is the bug I've been referring to. Something a little odd here with this. This is the response, and this should not be. So there's something odd going on there. We have to figure that out. Let's try this again. I think it has something to probably how the. Well, I'm not sure why, but try to control enter again, and this time it worked. Okay. It maybe had something to do with what was in the clipboard, and there we have the response, the expected response. And I'm going to do a code here, and I'm going to say, let's just say add Python, add 2 numbers, and then I'm going to do the control, I'm going to do the numlock enter, okay? And there we got it generated the Python, executed it right there. So you can see how powerful this can be, because it allows you to interface with the GPT Anywhere. So let me show you what you'll actually need to utilize this. So this is the site for AutoHotKey. This is actually the editor I used to create the GPT Anywhere, and this is the actual GPT Anywhere code. And I'm going to just walk through a few things in this code that are pertinent. One thing is this JSON.ahk. This is a library, third-party JSON library you can get from GitHub. I'll show you where to get that. All you got to do is copy and paste this into your scripts directory. The other thing is you will need your own OpenAI API key. You can create that within the beta OpenAPI website. And you'll show how to do that, but you want to keep that key confidential, because if anyone has that key, they could you would be billed for that usage. So for that reason, I'm loading it in from a text file, so I don't have to reveal it in the code here. So you want to create this file and copy and paste your key in. Alternatively, you could just set this API key to the string of your key. This was primarily for demonstration purposes, so I don't have to reveal it in the code. So here we're binding to the control enter and the numpad enter, and as I was referring to, you could break this down into break that down into 2 different functions, so that you'd have 2 different ways of interfacing to the GPT Anywhere. And if one program doesn't like a particular, say using a control enter, you could use a numpad enter. The way I've done it here at this time, they're kind of it's either or, and so I'll probably change that so that I have actually 2 ways of referencing the interface. So what we do here, and what I mean by 2 ways, let me clarify. What I mean by 2 ways is you can certainly execute the interface to the control enter or numpad enter, but I'm going to send that control enter back to the program. So I need a little something in here to say either send the control enter or the numpad enter back, so that you have truly two ways of interfacing to the program. It's just a small thing, but what we're doing here, we're checking to see if you have any text selected. If you have selected text, I'm going to be sending that. We're going to use that selected text as a prompt. If you don't have any text selected, I'm going to attempt to select the current line. And this, and I'm going to copy and paste the current line, and we're going to send that. This works in Notepad. You've seen it worked in a lot of different applications. It doesn't work in every, it's not guaranteed to work in every editor in every case, but obviously with the source code, you can truly make it GPT Anywhere. Then we process the string and JSONify it, which is primarily for the multi-line inputs to get rid of to escape the carriage returns. So we have proper JSON, some housekeeping stuff there, and then what we're going to call the API, and with the prompt of the selected text or the current line, and we're going to store that into the clipboard. And we're going to copy and paste that clipboard into whatever editor you're in. So that's the goal, and this is the core of code. Now here's the actual GPT request. This reloader is for reloading the script in real time. If you make a change to it, you can press this Control J to reload it. So here's the actual API request. Pretty straightforward. We go to api.openapi.com. None of this needs to be changed really. This is the couple things here you may want to look at is the max tokens. If you're concerned about returning too many tokens, you can return less tokens. One note is that I don't actually check to see if you have a stop sequence or whatever. So if what you would do is if you don't get a complete response, is you would just select the response that you have back, and then Control Enter again to resubmit that response as many times as needed to complete it. You can set this to a very large number or a small number. I've set it to 250, which is I'm trying to set it to like a medium number, with the idea that you're going to be able to get back most functions and largely complete. That's kind of the idea, but not so large to where if it generates a bug or a mistake, it generates a ton of tokens or takes forever. The temperature is, the temperature on these models is basically how much they hallucinate or how grounded they are into reality. Higher temperatures give you more creativity. Lower temperatures should give you more factual answers. I've set that to 0. And then your model, I'm using TextDaVinci 003. There are some other models you can look at. And then we create this JSON request with all this information. We send this, and then we get back the response and send that. There's no exception handling. There's no error handling. It's very raw. And so that's the code, right? That's pretty much it. Now, what this is going to allow, what this allows is basically, you can imagine some of the ways one might utilize this is taking, for example, one of the uses I'm thinking about is my super sidekick code evolver, and creating an interface specifically for Super Sidekick, which also has some custom prompts with this, right? One of the applications I built where this could really be useful and really key and valuable was I created a word processor, basically through a prompt, an AI word processor, but it's not extremely useful without the interface. This is getting to creating some sorts of interfaces, and of course it could become more advanced if you can imagine how that could be. And there's a lot you can do with this. So I hope you see the value. I hope you find this helpful. This is pretty exciting to me. Again, this is pretty raw code, and I know there's some bugs in it, so be careful with it. If you're using it for anything or any type of system that's critical, be cautious. No warranty on that. I hope you found this valuable. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll include all the links you need below the video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this. These little short videos are surprisingly difficult to do, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback. Thank you, and until next time.